Today I'm going to share with you my number one technique that helped me to learn to lucid dream, how to change a dream, how to get out of a bad dream, and how to control your dreams. Lucid dreaming is basically being aware that you're in a dream, and so being able to control some aspects of your dream. You can have really fun experiences, really meaningful experiences, you can learn things, you can have quite spiritual experiences. It's like an opportunity to face your fears. You can have sexual experiences. Pretty much anything goes in a dream. However, lucid dreaming is not to be confused with sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is actually something I've also been experiencing for about the past 5 years. Unfortunately, sleep paralysis is extremely unpleasant. I've also had just one positive sleep paralysis experience. It was absolutely insane. It's crazy fascinating, and I'd love to make a video talking more about some of my sleep paralysis experiences, but only if you guys want to see it, so please comment below if you'd like to see that. I have been able to lucid dream for over 10 years now. It all started when I just had this really cool dream, and I was only like 10, and I decided to like draw it out like a little comic book when I woke up and like write a little story about it. And then every so often I just found myself like writing down my dreams like it was a little story. Little did I know that this is actually a technique that many people use to practice lucid dreaming, and it's called dream journaling.
I'm not sure if I made this clear, but the reason dream journaling works is because the more you remember your dreams, the more likely you are to have a lucid dream.
So then when I was about 14 years old, me and my best friend at the time started getting really into dreams. She had this dream interpretation dictionary, and it basically told you what certain things in your dream meant. There is also a website called Dream Moods. It's really old, but it's so interesting, and you can type in whatever dream you've had or like look through the dictionary and it will tell you like what that dream might mean. Obviously this is down to interpretation. Sometimes dreams really don't mean anything at all, and sometimes they might have some kind of meaning to what's going on in your waking life or your subconscious mind. I know a lot of people that tell me that they don't have dreams, but I remember reading somewhere, I think in a book about dreams, that actually everyone dreams every single night, but not everyone remembers their dreams. You're most likely to remember the dream you were having just before waking up. So if you've woken up in the middle of the night, or if you've woken up in the morning, that first 30 seconds to like a minute is the sweet spot for remembering your dreams. If you then go straight into checking your phone, like getting up and getting on with your day and thinking about all the things you've got to do, you will likely forget what you dreamed. Sometimes it's impossible to then remember what your dream was. I used to write down my dreams a lot. I actually don't do this so much anymore. What I find helpful that still works in the same way is doing what I like to call a dream rewind. So this is after you've just woken up, as long as you have time, you don't have to like get up and be anywhere. If you've got a few minutes to lay in bed and just like close your eyes and remember back to what you're dreaming, as long as you're not going to fall asleep again, the way that you can unlock and remember more is to try and remember what happened just before that. So I was like running along like a pipe, and then but what was I running on before that? Oh yeah, before that I was in like a field, and like then you try and think like why was I in the field, like going backtracking. Oh yeah, I was like running away from this person, and what were we doing before that? He like dropped from the sky, and then you just literally rewind and rewind and rewind until you cannot remember anymore, and you'll be surprised how much you remember. So that's the dream journaling and the rewind technique. However, my number one favorite technique that has helped me to lucid dream is reality checks. So this is basically having little checks that you can do within your dream, which will help you realize if it is a dream or if it is reality. But the only thing about these checks is you have to be doing them really regularly in your waking life in order for them to happen in your dreaming life. So my favorite one is the hand check, where you just look down at your hands. I've done this so many times in dreams, and it's helped me realize it's a dream. You want to just check your hands, check if you can count all your fingers, check that your hands look like your own hands, you know, maybe check your nail polish is the same color as it was yesterday. But basically in a dream, they're not going to look like your hands. Either you'll have like an extra finger, or you'll struggle to be able to count your fingers. Maybe your hands will be moving in a weird way. They might be a different color or a different size. I remember being in a bad dream the other night, and I remember looking down at my hands and they were green, and like my fingers were wobbly, and I was like, okay, it's a dream. I'm gonna just like change this up and like head off this way. There are quite a few different checks you can do, but these are my favorite ones. So the other one is the clock one. Basically, if you look at a clock in your dream, like the time will never be the same. Either the time will be like changing drastically, or the numbers on the clock will be like all in different places, or if you look away and then look back again, it'll be a different time. Another one is reading in a dream. If you like try to read a text on your phone, like often it won't make any sense, or try and go back and reread it and it won't say the same thing, or it just won't make any sense, or you'll struggle to be able to read it in some way. And then the last one that I do is the jump. So if you jump in real life, gravity will bring you straight back down. If you jump in a dream, often it will be a very weird jump. So you'll either like float a bit, or like you'll come down really slowly, or maybe you'll just keep going up, or maybe you'll start flying. So those checks, you can pick any of those, you can pick all of those and just start doing them every day. If you're constantly doing these things, they will start to happen in your dream. For some people it can take months, for some people it can take literally weeks, some people it might be harder and take like years to do, but I feel like most people can achieve this. So around the ages of 14 to 16 I started doing more research, but the problem is I couldn't stay lucid for very long. Often when you first realize that you're in a dream, you get so excited that you wake yourself up, and it's really frustrating. So the main thing when you become lucid is just to remain really calm and try to just stay in the dream state. Stay focused on what is going on in the dream and let your dream guide you, and just go with the flow of it. Because if you start to try controlling it straight away, like more conscious part of your brain will start to wake up. But after like years and years of doing this, my body and brain just knows what to do when I become aware, and I barely ever wake up after just realizing I'm in a dream. So on that note, let's talk about controlling dreams. Controlling dreams is actually really hard, because you're never able to control it the exact way that you want to. You never have 100% control. Dreams are mysterious and strange, and they're always going to be not quite right. If you try and like imagine like a very specific thing to happen, oftentimes it won't quite be how you expected it. In the early days of learning to lucid dream, I actually found it really hard to like put myself in a place that I wanted to be, or think of like a person that I wanted to see. Like say for instance, oh I really fancy this celebrity and I want to like kiss him in my dream. Like it was really hard for me. If I tried to summon that person or that thing, often it wouldn't come in the right form, or it just wouldn't come at all. You kind of just have to accept the fact that you can't really quite 100% control your dreams. Sometimes you can imagine people being there and they will appear, but often they don't, and sometimes it's a bit disappointing. The easiest way I find to control dreams is just to make simple decisions, and just to like walk or run in different directions, find different places, and letting the dream kind of take you on a new adventure, but like having slight control over which way it goes. That's the easiest way to control a dream. I've learned more like how to guide them into different scenarios. For example, the other night I was dreaming that I was just like walking along a road. I realized it was a dream and I was like, oh cool, okay, I'm gonna go do something. Like, so I decided to just turn into this restaurant, and there was all these people, I could see their faces, and I was like, oh, maybe I should like go and initiate something with one of these people sitting at the tables. And then I was like, actually no, like I want to go do something that I wouldn't normally do in waking life. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go into the kitchen, because like in reality you wouldn't really be allowed to go into the kitchen normally. So I was like, screw this, I'm in my own dream, I'm gonna like walk into the kitchen and see what's going on in the kitchen. And like everyone's bustling around doing the cooking, all the cooks are in there. I just walk around this kitchen and there's this like whole table full of all these desserts, and I'm like, yeah, like I'm gonna eat this dessert. And I picked up this like chocolate cake thing with like cream on it, and I remember eating it, and I could actually like kind of taste and feel the sensation of the cake like in my mouth, and thinking like, oh, this is like so good, like I can actually taste this, I'm in my dream. I don't remember the rest. I think I maybe woke up or my alarm clock went off or something, but yeah, lucidity doesn't last for very long. So often when you have it, it could be 30 seconds to a minute to a couple of minutes before your brain kind of takes over and you kind of can get distracted and like start to go back into dreamland, not realizing it's a dream again. You have to practice keeping that focus in order to keep that control. Another dream where I was having a really bad dream, I was actually in this room for some reason, and I was like, okay, it's a dream, but like I know I can get out of this, so I'm just gonna escape out the window. And like obviously it's quite a long drop to the floor from my window, but because I knew it was a dream, I was like, it's fine, I'm gonna be alright, I'll just jump and like something will catch me or I'll land on something, I won't hurt myself. And I jumped and I was fine. I landed on the ground and I was like, cool. And then I ran off and like escaped the bad people. Like, it was fine. And that brings me to getting out of bad dreams and changing dreams. A technique if you want to change your dream is to spin around. I've done this a couple times if I've been having a bad dream or just don't like what's going on, and I've just span around and like it's kind of just changed. There was like once where this didn't work. I don't quite understand why, but I wasn't having a bad dream, but I was just like, I don't want to be here, and I like tried to spin or like close my eyes and do something, and I'd open my eyes and it wouldn't quite be like what I wanted it to be. And yeah, that one time it was quite frustrating, but most of the time it works. And that's a good way to get out of bad dreams as well. Another way that I found to get out of bad dreams is to just confront the fear, confront the bad thing that's going on. This can actually be really helpful in your waking life and like overcoming maybe subconscious things that are going on or fears that you may have. My most common bad dream is being chased by something or someone or something that wants to do me harm. And I think a couple of times now when I've realized it's a dream and I'm like, oh, it's okay, I can just confront whatever it is that's chasing me, and like usually then it will change or it won't actually hurt me or something else will happen or it will just go down a different path. I will say that this is actually very hard to do because even when you realize it's a dream, you still have fear. Even though you know it's a dream and you know this thing can't hurt you, it can still be really hard to confront it. So a couple of times I've just decided to like, I don't know, open a window and fly away. Another thing about controlling your dreams and feeling like, okay, I'm invincible, like I can go up to anyone and like initiate something romantically or like just be really bold or do something I would never normally do, or just like, I don't know, be really confident. Like even though you're in a dream and you know it's a dream, it can sometimes still be really nerve-wracking to do those things or to like approach a person in a dream. You still sometimes get that same self-conscious feeling of like, oh, I hope they don't mind me like approaching them. But you have to keep reminding yourself it's okay, they're not real. So you still have to learn to be really confident and really bold in your dreams in order to do the things that you want to do. Because you still get like nervous and self-conscious in dreams, which is so stupid, but it still happens. But it's just fascinating. So this now leads me to a few things that you shouldn't do in lucid dreams, and I actually watched a video recently which said some of these things. So the number one thing is to not kill anyone. Obviously it's only a dream, so you're not actually harming anyone, but this is actually not a great thing to do for your own brain and your own conscience. I think in the video I watched it said that anyone in your dream is like a reflection of yourself, so by killing someone in your dream, you're doing a disservice to yourself, and also it's just not a very nice memory and feeling to have. So yeah, don't kill anyone or anything. Another thing that is not a great thing to do is to hang around or talk to people that you know in your waking life too much, or like hang around places that you are in your waking life a lot, like work or school or anywhere that you normally go, because your brain can actually create false memories. So if you're like talking to your crush or like doing stuff with your crush, or you know, doing stuff with someone you really want to get to know at work or something, often you can become a bit disappointed in waking life because those relationships and conversations that you've formed in your dream life can sometimes get a bit confused with real life, and you may feel that you know that person or have had experiences with that person that you actually haven't, and you can actually form false memories. I have died in a dream once. It was not a scary experience, but it was definitely quite moving. It was very odd. Maybe I'll share that story one day. I have had many sexual experiences. I'm saying that quietly because I think there's people home. I've had quite a few sexual experiences in dreams, sometimes voluntarily, most of the time involuntarily, to be honest. A lot of the time I don't even realize I'm dreaming. But yeah, so that can be fun. But what I will say about sexual experiences in dreams is that if you've not experienced a sexual experience before, it can sometimes be hard for your body and mind to imitate that experience in a dream. So this is kind of embarrassing, but I don't know if I should really say this, but it's whatever, like we're all human beings. So I feel like around the ages of like 14, 15, not that you like want to have sex, some people do, but it's an odd age. Your brain just starts becoming more aware of like sexuality. Maybe you're not quite ready yet, maybe you really want to experience something. Not that it's legal or anything, but yes, it's the age where your brain is starting to think about those things a little bit more. And I remember, I think maybe I was like 15 or something, and wanting to see what sex was like in a dream. But because I'd never had sex, when I'd try to make these things happen, they wouldn't quite, like, I couldn't really feel anything, or like it would change, or like I couldn't quite make the thing happen, or like things would keep happening, like getting in the way. It just wouldn't really work out. I think because my brain and my body hadn't had that experience yet, and it didn't really know what that was like, so it couldn't imitate it in my dream life. Saying that, just because someone is wanting to do that in a dream doesn't mean that they want to do it in real life. So in no way, shape or form did I want to do that in real life, because I was not ready yet. But in your dream world, you know, parts of your brain are shut off and you often do things that you wouldn't normally do. You can sometimes do things really out of character. Just because you do something in your dream or want to do something in your dream is not a reflection of what you actually want to do in real life. I just want to make that really clear, especially when it comes to like romantic and sexual experiences in dreams. Very complicated topic. And then of course I've had many experiences with sleep paralysis, but that is pretty much all I had to share about lucid dreaming today. I hope you maybe learned something new, or if you want to try lucid dreaming, definitely try out some of the tips and techniques that I mentioned. If you want to see more of what I get up to, I post personal vlogs and like more content on my Patreon, which is down below. I have an Instagram as well. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.